smartest guy in the room because they told you everything.
The book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 5. There is one that keepeth wise, and another by much babbling becometh hateful. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakah Kodash. It's the brother Abal Gabar from the Camp Prophets in Babylon, Tampa, Florida. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who do indeed teach and rule well, peace and salutations to the elect scattered abroad, doing this work in truth and in sincerity. A wise man can act a fool, but a fool can't act wise. All right, and there's an account of that, which Lord willing will grab that account of King David, you know, which was a very mighty man of Israel, the king of Israel, you know. He acted a fool, okay, and that was taken as wisdom, okay. It was a wise thing that he did to escape the hands of a king. All right, so I'm gonna play this video one more time, you know, and then we'll get some scriptures. Lord willing, is edifying to the hopeful elect, man. You know, there is one that keepeth silence and is found wise. All right, because you got, you know, certain brothers that are just waking up to the truth. They might struggle with, you know, understanding that there's a time and a place and a season for everything, including when and when not to speak, you know. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, prisoner of hope. Shalom, Kala Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kodash, Brakatah. You know, there's a time and place for everything. So you don't, you know, as especially a young brother, just waking up to the knowledge and wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, really you should be like a fly on the wall, man. All right? Before you can be a good teacher, you have to be a good student. Okay? Before you can be a master teacher, you have to first be a master student. All right? So let's go ahead. And a student is going to study. All right? And when you're studying, you know, you're focused, you're quiet. All right? You're silent. Right? You know, we use the this like analogy or idea at camp. You know, when someone comes up, we say, look, man, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. All right, you should be listening twice as much as you're talking, you know, especially when you're trying to learn something new. All right, especially concerning the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But let's play this again.
Sometimes you're the smartest guy in the room. You don't want anybody to know.
And that's wisdom, okay? Not letting everybody know your hand, okay? Not letting everybody know what you're all about. Not letting everybody know your next move, okay? Being wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, as the scriptures say. Okay, so, you know, a true wise man is going to sit back and examine and watch and learn, okay? He's not going to make himself the center of attention so everybody can just see and, you know, make a fool out of him. No, he's going to be in the back examining, learning, all right?
Sometimes you're the smartest guy in the room. You don't want anybody to know. Let them think you're dumb. You don't know anything.
And that's what King David did. Okay, this account which we'll grab, it was a very wise thing of him to do.
Yapping away, right? It's a big advantage. There's other times.
You heard that? He said it's a big advantage. Why is that? Because wisdom. And the scriptures say what? Let me grab this, man. Let me grab this real quick before I even quote it. Grab it. This is Proverbs 4 and 7. It says, wisdom is the principal thing. So why is it a big advantage to understand a time and a season on when to speak, especially as a wise man, when you sit back and you acknowledge and you're learning from everything around you, you know, because it's applying wisdom. All right, and wisdom is the principal thing. It says, therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Okay, and you can understand a lot by just examining things around you. Okay, You can learn how to not make a mistake by watching somebody else make a mistake and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that like that because I just saw that person make a mistake. But if you're too busy yapping and yapping and yapping, you know, you're not going to learn. You know, there's a lot of things that happen, you know, and, you know, the Lord has everything divinely set up, you know, as we understand predestination, you know, it's divinely set up for us to learn, man. But as the title of the lesson is, a wise man can act a fool, but a fool cannot act wise. All right. And we coming into a time of Jacob's trouble. Hey, you might have to act a fool, man. You don't want to be out there letting everybody know your next move or your, you know, what you're all about. You know, we're about to be persecuted, hated, despised, you know, so we're going to have to be, you know, Clark Kent, you know, when Superman, he's Superman. Okay. But then when he's out in the midst, you know, in the Matrix, so to say, it's Clark Kent mode. All right. So let's go back to Sirach 20:5. It says, there is one that keepeth silence and is found wise. Right. Because you learning. Okay. You're keeping silence and you're found wise. Okay. And it says, and there another by much babbling becometh hateful. All right. Because, you know, and there's a scripture. I'm going to grab this real quick, actually. You know, there's a scripture. Well, there's a lot of scriptures concerning the slip of the tongue, you know. And this right here, actually, this is James 3:8. This says, but the, actually, James 3:7, it says, for every kind of beast and of birds and of serpents and of things in the sea is tamed and hath been tamed of mankind. Right? You see different animals, they've been tamed, you know, birds, even, you know, wild beasts can be tamed. You know, bears, you see bears that are tamed, you know, lions, tigers that are tamed at the zoo and different things of that nature, right? It says, but the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil full of deadly poison. Okay, because you have to understand the scriptures say we're going to be judged for every idle word. So it'd be wise to have few words. Okay, have few words to be, you know, less room for mistakes. You know, and that's why even when we do these lessons, you know, we got to get it straight to the point. You know, hit them, get the scriptures, get the point out, and Yahweh Shai Ratazah is edifying. All right. So let's play it again.
You're not the smartest guy. Sometimes you're the smartest guy in the room. You don't want anybody to know. Let them think you're a dummy. You don't know anything. You may yapping away, right? It's a big advantage. There's other times when you're not the smartest guy in the room. If you keep your mouth shut, nobody knows that.
Yeah, you're not letting everybody know your next move. Okay? But as soon as you got a fool in the room, go to yapping and, you know, acting a fool, well, everybody knows, okay, this guy might not be, you know, all the way there, you know. This guy might be short a six-pack.
They don't know it, so you let them talk, commit themselves. By the time they're finished, then you can become the smartest guy in the room because they told you everything.
You see that? By the time they're finished, then you can become the smartest guy in the room because they told you everything. Because you sat back and you examined, you watched, you learned. You became a student. You studied. You studied the things that were around you. You were being circumspect. Okay, you were watching. All right, that's what we are to be, man. You know, we're to watch, we're to learn, and that's for all of us, you know. Every day, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're learning, man. All right, it says, let's go back to Sirach 20:6. It says, some man holdeth his tongue because he hath not to answer. Sometimes you don't got to answer. You don't always got to, you know, just pull something out of your ass and just throw it out there. If you don't know, the scriptures say, put your hand over your mouth, you know, sit back, wait for someone to give an answer. And, you know, when someone gives an answer, you examine the answer. You know, you study. Okay, maybe you do a little research for yourself, you know. Well, yeah, you got to do research for yourself. Study to show yourself approved, you know. But it says, that's another thing. You can't just believe every man, you know. Actually, you know what? And that just brings me to another scripture. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. 1 John 4:1, it says, beloved, believe not every spirit. So, even when you are trying to learn, you might be amongst certain men, right? And they're talking and you're trying to learn. So a certain man might give an answer, give a scripture, but you have to go back, go to the scripture, study to show yourself approved, maybe go into the blue letter, get into it so you learn it for yourself, all right? Scriptures say every man must work out his own salvation, man, all right? You have to believe this. 1 John 4:1, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So you got to try the spirit by the spirit concerning the scriptures, all right? Is what this person is saying, is it lining up with the scriptures? If it's not lining up with the scriptures, then it's not of the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right? Back to Sirach 20:7, or 20:6, it says, some man holdeth his tongue because he hath not to answer, and some keepeth silence, knowing his time. A wise man, okay? Keep silence. Just sit back, watch, observe. It says, a wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity. Okay? Every second is not an opportunity for you to open your mouth. All right? A wise man will hold his tongue. You're going to sit back, you're going to examine until the time's right. He see opportunity. The scripture says what? Sirach, Ecclesiastes 3:7, or 3:1, it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 7, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. You see that? Right? And the amount of knowledge and information you can learn from just sitting back and observing is massive. The amount of knowledge and wisdom you can obtain by just sitting back and observing things that are going on. You can, learn the shortcuts, Now you're watching certain brothers might make mistakes and you learn, okay, I saw the brother do it like this, so I'm not going to do it like that, and next thing you know, you taking shortcuts. The Lord's guiding you.
Sometimes you're the smartest guy in the room. You don't want anybody to know. Let them think you're dumb. You don't know anything. You're yapping away, right? It's a big advantage. There's other times when you're not the smartest guy in the room. If you keep your mouth shut, nobody knows that. They don't know it. So you let them talk, commit themselves. By the time they're finished, then you can become the smartest guy in the room because they told you everything.
That's it, Silence is key, because you learning. When you silent, you observing things, you got Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in your mind, the spirit, the Rakah Kodash is comforting, and you're learning, all right? You're growing, as the scriptures say, grow in the grace thereby. So we are to grow, man. So for younger brothers just waking up to the knowledge and faith and wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and even, all brothers, sit back, learn, observe, watch, understand there's a time and a place to speak. It's not always your time to speak. A wise man, a lot of the times when you go to certain places, the wise man is the quietest one. All right? But anyways, let's get the account of King David. It's 1 Samuel 21:7. It says, now a certain man of the servants of Saul. Remember, there was a long war between the house of Saul and the house of David. All right, David waxed stronger and stronger, which the house of David is back on earth today, and what's called the regeneration process. All right, and you have the house of Saul back on earth today. Okay, so let's read it again. It says, now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before Yahweh, and his name was Doeg, an Edomite, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul. And David said unto Amalek, and is there not here under thine hand spear or sword? For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapons with me, because the king's business required haste. So King David, he didn't have no weapons. He ain't had nothing with him, and he's running across, the servants of Saul. All right. It says, for I have neither brought my sword nor weapons with me, because the king's business required haste. And the priest said, the sword of Goliath the Philistine, whom thou slewest in the valley of Elah, behold, it is here wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If thou wilt take that, take it, for there is no other save that here. And David said, there is none like that, give it me. Okay, so David was going for the sword, all right? It says, and servants of Achish said unto him, is not this David the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances, saying, Saul has slain his thousands and David his 10,000s? And David laid up these words in his heart and was sore afraid of Aish, the king of Gath. So King David was afraid, okay, of this king. It says, and he changed his behavior before them. So King David, a wise man, all right, who the Lord was dealing with heavy, okay, a man after the Lord's heart, right? And he changed his behavior before them. So what did he do? He changed his behavior. Instead of acting like a wise man, he started acting a fool. It says, and feigned himself mad in their hands. He acted a fool. He acted like he was a madman, okay, to escape the hands of the king, okay? It says, and scrabbled on the doors of the gate and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. So King David has spit falling down upon his beard, looking like an actual madman. All right. Then said Ahish unto his servants, lo, ye see this, the man is mad. Wherefore then have ye brought him to me? So the king is looking at King David like this cannot be the king of Israel. This cannot be King David. Look at this man. He has spit all over his beard, He says, why have you then brought him to me? Have I need of madmen, that ye have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Shall this fellow come into my house? You see, so King David, he acted a fool and escaped death and destruction, okay, from this king. King Achish, and Salaki if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, King David acted a fool, and escaped the hands of this king, and that was a wise thing to do. All right, let me go to Sirach 32:7. It says, speak, young man, if there be need of thee. So you don't always gotta make it known that you're just some wise man. And yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. Keep silence. Let thy speech be short. So even when you do speak, try to, if you can explain something in one word, do that. All right. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. That's another thing. You might know an answer to a certain question, right? But it might not be the time or season for you to give that answer. All right. It might be another brother. All right. It might be a conversation between two brothers, right? And you might just be listening, and the brother might ask a question and you know the answer, but other brother might not know the answer, and you just blurt it out, that would be seen as foolish because that was the wrong time. That wasn't the right season. Okay. That wasn't a conversation between you and him. It was between him and the other brother. All right. But it says, speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words. All right. So yeah, you know, keep silence, learn, observe, and give praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? So yeah, Lord willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. A wise man can act a fool. We saw the account, King David, you know, acting a fool, escaping the hands of the king. You know, but a fool cannot act wise, man. Okay, a fool is just always going to play the role of a fool, man. All right? So yeah, Lord willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Until next